Yeah, it says recording.
Okay. Sorry.
Get in here.
I'll leave with Natasha. How about that?
Yeah, I'll get you one.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, those forms so that we can.
All right.
Eat while we talk.
So the other one was training your team. One of the questions you had training your
that's
team
it.
and training your people. So we have a unique process that we train the employees. Where is the biggest area you want to see the training? What area you want to see the training?
Sales processes.
Sales processes. Okay. So what I do in the training in the sales process is I coach them how to increase their closing ratio. So we have specific benchmarks, that we measure. What is your prospecting, lead conversion, lead multiplication, lead generation, and what's your closing skills? So you're probably looking at closing skills, right?
I think it's more so moving it through the sales funnel
Okay.
and get into the closing scope. Get into that. It's that gap.
Okay. So there's a gap between the funnel,
Exactly.
and so where is the gap?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay. So when the lead comes in, it's your people are not following up on it, or what is the main issue?
It's a variable mix. It can start with identifying, from the prospecting point, identifying the right target audience to go after, how to get them engaged, and then basically how to put them into the sales funnel and move them through the pipeline.
Okay. So what I do for you, if you were to work with me, I would build a job scorecard.
Right.
Okay. So in this scorecard, would outline the most valuable activities that in your team they need to do on an everyday basis. Most times what happens with companies, they have a list of things to do for employees. They have 10, 20 items on the job description, and they don't get to it all. And what I would say, one thing done equals money, and 5 things undone equals no money. So you may have 5 things in your list, but if they're not done, you're not making any money. But if you can get the most valuable activity done, then you're making money. So we outline, your most valuable activities, and we train them on their activities, how to do better on their task, make them to love their job. And we have a system where we analyze every single activity and description. It's also in the folder. Call it the work analyzer, where we break it in 4 categories: like, love, hate, and can't. So what do you like to do, what do you love to do, what you hate to do, and what you can't do? Okay, so there are some things they can't do, they need training. Some things they hate to do, we get it off their plate. Some things they like to do, but rather not do it, we get it off their plate, and we just focus on what they love to do. So now you have more productivity, more result, and better outcomes.
Sure.
And I personally come in, do workshops, train, do role play, and I show away all the skills. I've seen people using scripts. I did this with. So we create stories, we create role plays, and we create a system of how they're going to approach every single phone call, how they're going to convert a lead, even drafting email communications. How we create backstage and front stage. So front stage is when you're in front of your audience. So when you're drafting an email to your prospect, you're in front of your audience, you're front stage. And if you're doing an email in a rush, while you're going to the restroom or walking, you screwed up because you didn't take the time to draft a clear message while you're standing on the stage in front of your audience, sitting there in front of you.
Yeah, it's interesting enough. I read a great article a couple of weeks ago on LinkedIn about email engagement. And one of the biggest issues is what's in the subject line.
Exactly. So
I'm sorry.
No, it's true.
So it's taking time to find out. There are certain tasks and activities that you want to stop and take time and focus, and just get rid of everything else that's surrounding and doing things, and just because those are very important. That's when you're front stage. Okay, and your audience should know when you are front stage and you're backstage, right? And you don't want to be pulled backstage when you're front stage. So if you are in a meeting or a client appointment and your assistant bothers you or somebody calls you or there's constantly things happening or interruptions happening because your team doesn't know that it's okay. It's okay to interrupt, so they call you, they let you know, and you bother you, and then you screwed up your front stage activity. Right? So that's very important. Incomplete file, right?
She just left.
She just left. So
She had to go finish the file.
all right. So what else? Clients' time, retention, pay bills, cash flow. So we're at the issue of cash flow. somebody had an issue of paying bills in cash flow, right?
Cash
That was-
flow.
All right, so I'm going to spell cash with a K. Okay? So the way you increase your cash flow is look at activities that you increase your knowledge. How do you increase your knowledge on a daily basis? A stands for attitude. What is your attitude throughout the day? Our brain is programmed to be negative. Out of all the top 7 emotions that human beings have, 6 are negative, only 1 is positive. And that 1 positive is joy. So find joy in everything you do. Even if that task is, cumbersome, but find joy in how can I make this fun? So that's your attitude. Skill set. So we're talking about, getting their team better in skill set of prospecting, closing, email engagement. It's all a skill set that you can develop over time. That once that skill set is developed, there's more cash. And the last part is habits. What are your daily habits? Believe it or not, everybody is disciplined. If you're waking up late, you're disciplined to wake up late.
It's true.
If you're pressing the snooze button on your alarm clock every day, you're disciplined to press the snooze button on your alarm clock every day. If you're waking up at 4:30 or 5 like me, you're disciplined to wake early every single day. So everybody's born with discipline. It's just, your habits that matter. What are your habits? Right? So that's cash flow. Anybody have any other challenges or anything that you want to touch base or any questions or anything you want to share?
I guess my major concern is trying to figure out how to dedicate time to what I really want to do, which I'm working towards, but also trying to maintain what I'm currently doing, which I believe will give me cash flow to do what I really want to do. So it's like I don't want to give up what I want to do, but what I want to create and the vision that I want to create will take some money to
Okay.
do it.
So
So I kind of need that.
All right, so you're going to draw 4 circles, and one is, what you love to do, what you have a great talent for, what you pay you well, what creates value for the world. What do you say is the sweet spot that intersects all the 4?
What you love to do, like your joy, your passion,
Yeah. What is it that you love to do?
help people get to the next level.
Define more.
My goal is to have a nonprofit that will take people that are in stagnant situations, such as the church or low income levels, and build them up to the next level to get them jobs.
So what is the low level and what's the next level?
What I don't understand.
Okay, so what you said the people are at the low income level.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Like
the low?
people that have challenges, such as, let's say they're in impoverished areas, that they don't have mentors.
Okay, so
they
now
don't
you're
have-
getting more specific.
Yes.
So now you're focusing on impoverished areas and low income, and then you're going to take that low income to the next level. You're going to define the next level. So if it's 20,000, 30,000 of income, you're going to take them to 50,000, 60,000 of income. You're going to be more specific. This is what I do. I take people at this stage to this stage in this time.
But at a nonprofit level.
As a nonprofit, for nonprofit.
Profit, yes.
So then you would search for nonprofits, and you have a great talent for that. That will pay you well. Okay, then you follow that and creates value for the world. But if it's fun and you're not making money, it's not good. If you're making money and it's not fun, it's not good either.
No, I know the money will come. My issue is trying to transition. Like right now, I do real estate.
Right, I was
So a lot of my
going to get there.
Yeah, a lot of my focus is trying to get prospects for real estate, but a lot of my time goes to that, and little time goes to what I really want to do, which is what makes me most happy.
Okay.
Real estate doesn't really make me happy, but it can bring in the money to me.
Well, there's a lot of things that can bring in the money. Your passion can also bring in the money.
Okay, so that's
Okay.
where I need.
So you focus on your passions and the money will follow. If you start focusing on the money, you will go in so many different directions that, there's every place you can make money. You can make money selling drugs, you can make money selling real estate.
So you have options.
Me get further with the drugs.
So you take your pick. You my passion was standing in front of a whiteboard and making money, and that's what I do, and that's what I'm doing. I got rid of everything else. So
Yeah,
Take
so
your-
that's my problem, is trying to get rid of everything else.
that's what I'm talking about. You let me- So you CDE the rest. CDE means curtail, delegate, eliminate. So curtail all the other things that are taking up your time, delegate it. You can delegate it to man, machine, system, process, AI. There's all kinds of stuff you can delegate today. Right? You don't need human beings to delegate. There are people who work for $5 at Fiverr. So, you can actually delegate. So people who say, I have a hard time delegating, I'm the only person running the business, I have to do it, that's nonsense. That's BS. If you're smart, you can actually take time out and find ways to delegate it to so many places that can get the work done for you. There are virtual assistants who will work for you from home. So it's just an excuse. There's only two things in life that are preventing you from success. Find an excuse or find a way. What's it going to be? Either you're going to find an excuse or you're going to find a way. Right? Does that make sense?
Yes.
Anybody else? No? Good. So I'm going to go into the 3-year vision. I'm going to ask everybody a question. And this is how you can build your 3-year vision. So let's assume today was September 14th, 2019. Okay? 3 years from today. Today's September 2019. And we're meeting on that day. You and I are face to face. And we're looking back to 2016. Now, if you could wave a magic wand, you wave a magic wand and everything happens true on that day that you want to happen true. What has to have happened during that period, looking back to today? What pictures do you see? What vision do you see that makes you feel happy? Makes you feel that you had meaningful progress in your life, personally and professionally speaking? Who wants to start?
I'll jump in.
Sure.
So Rick's 3-year vision. I'd love to see the business at a point where I can have a little more hands-off, transition it to the next, actually AJ and some other people that I have in place to kind of take the business to the direction that I want to engaging with city agencies, really build a book of business to
So
really
what I
high level.
understand is, in a few words, is a self-managing company.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Not fully automated,
Okay.
but self-management in the fact where I have the right people in place to do the right job, to give me the right results that I want.
So right people in the right seats doing the right things to get to the right results for the right thing.
And you may say, Rick, why? Great question. It gives me full autonomy to do some other things that I'm working, some nonprofit organizations that I'm working, stuff here in the U.S. and also outside of the country. So it gives me the flexibility and also the finance, the capital, right? I mean, that, the root of all evil, I guess, money. So I can go do,
Okay.
save the world and do all that good stuff.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. The only so in your vision, here's what I see, and here's what most entrepreneurs I see make a mistake, is that you're connecting to your ideals, your concepts. So I want a self-managing company, but what does a self-managing company look like? So we build a vivid vision. A vivid vision is you look at, okay, I have this team in place, I have this many employees, I have this many people, I'm making this many sales, I have this many customers, we have this much revenues. We have this much office space. So we are going to the granular detail of your vision. And we are painting a picture. Like if you see a picture, the picture has a lot of depth and details, right? So we go into all the details and we will build your self-managing vision. What you shared with me right now is a concept that I want this company. So in your right people in the right seats doing the right things in the right time.
Yeah. I mean, conceptually, obviously you get it, but we can drill down to it. We can sit there for 6 months.
That's what I do. So
Right.
First thing I would do is build a vivid vision, and to give you 3 strategies to find the right people in the right seats with the right payment and the right results. Is 1, you need to have a hiring process. Without a hiring process, without a
You're looking at the process.
well, if he is the process, what's your process of hiring?
Basically bringing on new reps.
How do you bring on new reps?
Look for you look
Where do you
for
look for them?
everywhere.
That's the problem. That's the problem. Okay, so that's not a hiring process. Okay, that's on-the-fly process. So we built a hiring process where it's completely outlined, starting with exactly what you want. Very clear message. The same concept. You want to have the right message and attract the right candidates. You don't even start until you have 28 players. You don't even start interviewing people until you have the 20 of the best candidates. But how do you filter them before you even, because resumes can be full of lies, right? People lie on it all the time, right? But you want to make sure that you have a hiring process. You even build a job scorecard. So when I talk about scorecard, these are the activities that you're doing. This is how you're going to measure your result, and this is going to be the score. And we want to see how you've done it in the past. We may even call them for a practical assignment or for a day or two in the workplace. The whole onboarding journey is going to be so difficult that if they made it, that itself is a success. If they made it to the company, if they got the job, that in itself is a great success. And they feel it that way. So we create that. So once you create the hiring process, and you go in depth about the hiring process, of where you look for them, how you're going to look for them, what are your values that you stand for. The second is your decision-making process of how do you hire and fire people. Okay, so you hire fast and fire slow, right?
What's that?
That's what most entrepreneurs do. They hire fast and fire slow, right? So we want to hire slow and fire fast, right? So how do you make that decision of hiring and firing? That has to be based on your core culture and values. Many companies don't even have a manifesto or a code of conduct or core values that they have in the company. And if we build those values in the company, if we build that culture, that has to be your own culture. I don't want to take, let's copy Google's culture or let's copy Amazon's culture. That can't be your own. It has to come organically from you. And that's what I do. I build organically, culture for each company. That's their own. That's not coming from anywhere else. And when you build that culture, that becomes the foundation for decision-making of hiring and firing people. And the third part of it is training and development. If there's no organic training and development of your internal team, they're not going to be stay A players. So that's how you get right people in the right seats. Right? What else would you like to see happen, right?
Define that question a little more.
Okay, so
Because
what is 3 years?
I don't want to get
In
too
3 year
far.
vision, so it's 3 years, 2019. Anything else that has to have happened to make you feel happy about your progress? Besides a self-managing company. If you achieve it, it's a big goal, right?
I'd like to really be able to put my arms around the customers that we serve and really get a good understanding of what their pain points are and what we can do to serve them and help their businesses move progressively.
Okay.
And I like that one a lot, and here's why. If we're helping our customers, we're helping ourselves, and it comes right back.
Right.
Right?
So if I'm relieving your pain, I'm relieving my pain.
Right. It helps me to fund the hiring process.
All right. So, what is the biggest danger? Why aren't you having a self-managing company today?
EBITDA, capital expenditure.
So capital. What else? What was the second thing you mentioned?
Running with some profit numbers,
Okay.
right? Because you can have capital, but how you run it, with certain profit margins and things like that.
So what I say is, when you have employees, you want to have employees at a minimum of 5x. 5x meaning that you're only spending 20% of your gross profit on payroll. Okay. If you're spending anything more than that, your company is not being efficient in how they're managing it. So we try to get to that. Google is at 22x. They're 2.2 million per employee. Their gross profit is $2.2 million per employee, and their average pay is about $100,000. So if you think about that, there's scalability exists. There's room to grow, and constantly companies make the mistake. Okay, if you want to grow more, we need more employees. That may not be the case. It may be that your current employees, your current people need more productivity. and more profitability and more training. Maybe you have the wrong people that you need to get rid of some people and get in the right people. So we have to identify that. And we do that through our tools and systems that we have. Even just a one exercise, like for I tell you a true story, with a company, just filling the form, they were about to hire 3 more people, and they said, we don't need any more employees. Because everybody filled out like, love, hate, and can, right? And we just had to shift some of the tasks here and there, and their job was done. Like in 15 days, they could make a decision. They don't need to hire anybody else. They just need to shift the tasks and activities that everybody was doing by knowing exactly what they love to do, what they hate to do, what they can't do, what they like to do. So that can be possible. So, and what I tell companies is never look for money. Money changes everything. Let's grow your company without the source of capital. How can you organically grow your business without money? So I go into customer-funded business models. Let the customers provide you the money that you need to grow your business. How can we do that? So we go into all different ways we can raise capital from your own customers, rather than having to go to banks or financing or venture capital or this and this, because if you can do that yourself, you have a better chance with the banks and the venture capitals if you do that first. Right? Make sense?
Makes perfect sense.
All right. What else you would say is your dangers to where he wants to go? Anything that comes to your mind?
No, I mean, you touched on everything, and I agree. Having more productive people rather than the quality over quantity.
Right.
Obviously, we want people that are aligned, have the same vision, the same goal, and they're staying on focus
Right.
with what we want to achieve.
Just to give you statistics, when you came in, you mentioned sales, sales closing and skills is one of the areas. To give you true statistics in sales, 88% of the sales are done by 12% of the sales people in the whole country. 88% of the sales. So, if that is the case, why are we increasing the sales force? Right? Why not train these 12% people that are contributing 88% of the sales to do more? Right? Then you don't need a bigger sales force. I mean, I have seen ratios, and that there's one guy who's making $10,000 a year in revenue, and there's another who's making 6 figures. It's like the gap is so huge in a sales force. You want people, who are producing at a high level. So that it goes back to the hiring process. It's like you go to a buffet, you pick up the food, and then you complain about gas in your stomach. You're the one who got the food. You're the one who picked up the junk food. You're the one who put it in your stomach. Now you want to complain about it? Same thing with bringing in people. How are we bringing in people? Right? Where would be your biggest opportunity? Where would you say is your biggest opportunity?
As far as
Getting to a self-managing company.
Yeah, I think that's a good question. One of the biggest opportunities that I see is probably partnering up with with a city IT's department.
Okay. And how are you doing right now with that?
We're trying to penetrate a couple of cities right now, and taking some benchmarks that we have. For example, current customers, got some white papers from them, and trying to push that out and use them as a reference point.
Okay.
So, for example, one of our clients, it's the Office of the Attorney General for the state of Florida.
Okay.
Well, every state in the United States has one, so
Right.
we're going to take that and push it out to each one of them.
Right. Okay. And the best way to get these people and expand this is to invite them into your process. When you build your company, so what I would do if I were to work with you is I would build a unique process for your company. And when we're building this process, we invite your key customers into the process and get their feedback. But once we get their feedback, we have them invite more and more like them and referrals and references. And now you're organically growing without having to do a lot of marketing or reaching out to them or follow up. and you're inviting them into building your own process. There's a restaurant in Chicago, and it does more business than probably 100 restaurants combined. I don't remember the name, but I read the story in Entrepreneur magazine. And he was asked the question, is what's the key to your success? And he said, we put it all on the plate. So what do you mean by put it all on the plate? He said, we put great food at an affordable price on the plate. And we invite our customers in the process. We literally grab them and take them in the kitchen when we're bringing or building a new recipe.
Wow.
And I like that, and I'll kind of put it into like an analogy. So one thing that we're doing at Arm Logitech is I kind of rekeyed our portfolio, and I took, there's 10 things that every business needs.
Right.
Be it a phone system, backbone recovery, IT stuff, if you're printing a laser cartridge, whatever the case is. And we're kind of going with that same mentality. We're putting the right plate with the right message, the right menu, and we're just trying to figure out, we're knocking our heads this morning before we came in here, AJ and I, what's the right frequency and the right audience to get it to. So I get it.
That's good. Good. So now when you invite them in the unique process and you ask them, can you bring a friend of yours? Who does Attorney General know? Another Attorney General, right? So now you got 300 customers or people, and you're penetrating the market faster than you can do it the other way. Does that make sense?
100%.
All right. What's the biggest strength that makes you succeed and unique and different from everybody else?
Yeah, great question. Small business enterprise.
Okay. All right.
Minority owned certified.
Okay.
We are based in the United States. We provide free technical support, unlike the distinguished competition.
Okay.
And I can go on and on, but
So here's what I want you to do. Instead of saying like a list of things or services that you provide, come up with one result. One result. That's definitive. That's desirable. That's deliverable. That's measurable. That's valuable.
Repeat that again,
Okay.
please. I like that.
Okay. So one result.
Great.
Okay, so like when I started this, what I do, achieve your 3-year vision in 1 year.
Great.
Right? To the point, simple. This is what I do, 1-year breakthrough. So what is your desirable, definitive, deliverable, measurable, valuable result that you can deliver for the city ITP? And that's what makes you different.
Got it.
When you do that, now your message is precise, clear, your marketing is clear, you're not going all over the place, we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that, we can do this for you. Like I had SAP come in, when we were doing a coaching program, and they had a whole menu of services, consulting program, this, and this, and I'm looking at the brochure, and I said, what do you guys do? Because it's a whole laundry list of services that we put on the menu, because we say if you offer more. You know what's the biggest problem of 21st century? Anybody? Want to take a guess? I'll give the person a free book right now. What's the biggest problem of 21st century?
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Immediate satisfaction.
We think more is
You got it.
What is
What did
it?
he get?
Too many options.
Yes.
Yeah.
I knew I can't get for a reason.
Explosion of options. If you go to the cereal line, do you know the cereal box you want to get? No. It takes you long to walk in that aisle to just pick up a box of cereal unless you know what you want. Right? What's your name?
AJ, it's on the board.
Yes.
Well, everybody's writing. This is Deidre. She just joined us. Deidre, some of you guys know. Clyde.
Hi, how are you guys?
Deidre, oh, stop
So
it.
does this sound like a plan that we can capitalize and build this into a plan, right? So the next step would be to take this and build it into 4 quarters, right? How do we break this down into 4 quarters? So the first quarter for your self-managing companies, I'm